So I've decided to change my channel up a bit. Rather than just giving you writing tips, I'm just going to talk about my process as a writer and how I'm doing on a weekly basis. This week, what happened this week? I finished Camp Nanowrimo, which is like a mini version of Nanowrimo in November. In November, you're supposed to write 50,000 words of a new story, completely new, and the mini version in both July and April are at your own pace. You choose the word count goal, you choose the project. It can be something you've already started or something new. I worked on my story, If the Birds Still Sing, for Nanowrimo. I talked about that story before in one of my past videos. I will link it in the description so that you can hear what that is about. I didn't reach the 50,000 words in November. And my goal this time was just 65,000, get that far. And I made it! Incredibly! Which is hilarious because I actually started writing in my zombie story, and I worked on a new story idea at the same time. Naturally, when I'm trying to focus on one story, all of the other stories start saying, hey, don't forget about me! I'm over here! Pick me! It's so crazy. All these voices in my head, just too many ideas. Seriously, how do you not have so many ideas? Any of you who don't understand how to write stories, I don't understand how to not write stories. We can, I don't know, share tips or something? What else did I do this week? I don't even know. Like I said, I worked on a new story that actually is actually pretty cool. I don't know if I want to tell you what it is yet. Maybe I'll wait. Maybe I'll wait until it gets further. It was a pretty good week. All in all, I probably didn't write every day. I have this new notebook. I don't have it right here, of course, but I got a new notebook. It says "Write" on the cover of it. Maybe I'll show it in my next video. But I decided that it would be my story notes notebook. I have a ton of them. I have 2 folders right here. See? Gigantic folders full of notebooks and other notes. It's not like I really need another one. But I got another one. Actually, the idea was to take the notes that I already have and to put them into that notebook, but naturally, I just wanted to fill it with new stuff that I probably will never go back and read, but at least it's out there. And it's not in my brain floating around screaming, "Listen to me!" And another thing for me, I guess in general, is I want to work at home. I want to start learning how to, be a stay-at-home mom eventually. I do hope that soon motherhood will come. And I want to be as prepared as possible. Actually, you know what? I'm going to show you something. I'm sure that it makes sense to you that I love books. I'm currently reading The Book Thief. I watched the movie, adored it. Other than that, I also got 2 other books. You might laugh at me. But sometimes I will have my husband drop me off early for work. Sometimes he drops me off at Barnes & Noble. It's not always a good thing. When someone like me, who wants to be a mom really, really bad, walks through the baby section, things happen. And this is what happened. I'm obsessed with names. I love baby names, and I love character names. I love coming up with cool names. And I must confess that the moment I saw this, I just could not leave without it. I just couldn't. So the baby name wizard. It's a magical method for finding the perfect name for your baby. And actually, I already have a list. I have multiple lists. I have the if we, completely change our minds on our favorites. I have that list. And then I have our favorites list. Again, kind of multiple of those because I changed my mind. And so this book, it's more than just like a bunch of names, but it does have that. And I'll just turn to a random page. So it has these like little things that show you the popularity from 1880 till today. Oh, that's the name list right here. Favorite name list. You don't get to see what they are until the actual day that I'm expecting, or you know, who knows when that'll be. But so bunch of names, cool names, and it gives like the categories that they fit into. Similar names, which they consider sisters and brothers to that name, and then like a little description, not the meaning, but a little description of I don't know, like a little pep talk about the name. I don't know what to call it. Sort of like a little story about the name, like saying that it's a classic name, that it's a cowboy name, or something, and then it gives a list of people that are named that, famous people. But more than that, in the list of names, it has categories, and then it gives you those categories with, you know, those names. So it has biblical, Jewish, modern names, Nordic. That's pretty cool. Likeable names, and then a name index. So really, I mean, this is also really good for naming characters. I use baby name lists all the time for my characters. If I'm completely stuck, I will just go. And if I have a general idea of the letter I want it to start with, I'll go for that. Or the meaning that I want it to have, or the sound, the syllables. I use those all the time. So actually, this is really, really nice for just being a writer. Go get one. I mean, eventually you're going to need it, you know, or want it to have babies. Why not just do it if you're a writer too, right? It just totally makes sense. This other one, I mean, it can kind of sort of be used for writing, but it was mostly on just an impulse. But it was a good impulse, you know, wanting to be prepared for future motherhood. And it is the book of all books of motherhood. Of course, I had to buy it. We went garage sailing, and it's like basically new. I mean, look at this condition. It's so nice. And I had to have it. You know, my mom had it when I was growing up. It's the classic turn-to book. I haven't really read much of it yet because I'm not actually expecting. I promise I'm not expecting. That'll be like a huge video separate from everything else. I am boggled, you know, that I actually bought these, but at the same time, I'm not really surprised. It's actually been kind of distracting me from writing my stories. So I apologize to my fellow writers for not being completely on top of things, but you know what? Life happens. Yeah. I really think that's it for this video. I feel probably half of it just talking about babies. And that might happen, you know, in my future videos, who knows. And that's it!